Welcome to the summary of Killing Sacred Cows, Overcoming the Financial Myths That Are Destroying Your Prosperity by Garrett B. Gunderson and Stephen Palmer. Let's uncover the gems together. Key point 1. The Sacred Cows of Wall Street. What is the one myth that makes you feel miserable or limited? Maybe it is the belief that only certain people are creative or that there is only one person for each of us. Whatever it is, myths like these limit our potential and make us question our power. They are often called sacred cows, a term protecting teachings, beliefs, institutions, and even individuals from doubt or criticism. In the financial world, myths originated from significant historical events like the Great Depression, which led to the hoarding strategy or the post-World War II mindset, where working with a corporation was the only way to financial security. These myths survive through your parents and friends, who feed them with their own experiences. Moreover, some profit from keeping the status quo and don't want the truth to be popularized. A lie is still a lie, even if millions choose to believe it. Most don't realize financial myths trap them until it's too late. By breaking the 5 most damaging myths or killing the sacred cows, you can rethink your financial decisions. And at the very end, you'll find a concrete plan to start making fundamental changes today. Key point 2. Myth 1. If one goes full, the other goes hungry. The most common myth people choose to believe is that resources, opportunities, and money are limited. In reality, it's a finite pie where a piece for one person means none for the other. In other words, it's a zero-sum game where if the winner takes a prize, the others get nothing, leading to competition and greediness. Enslavement by illusion is comfortable. It is the liberation by truth that people fear. David Hawkins. The scarcity mindset forces you to think and act out of fear. You can make poor financial decisions, especially when offered a great deal with no time to consider. You believe that if you don't grab that opportunity, someone else will, meaning you miss your chance. Such an attitude can make you prey for scammers. This mindset affects all other spheres too. You may become crippled by fear and jealousy, missing out on all the good in your life. For example, you can't buy yourself something you want just because you are sorry to part with the cash, or you get resentful and judgmental because of others' wealth. Ultimately, the scarcity mindset makes people work against each other instead of working together. If there is a winner, there must be a loser, right? You may often feel jealous of others' achievements and think, I can't write such an interesting book. It won't be so popular. Or, there are so many bloggers nowadays. Everything is already said and done. How desperate and miserable would it make you feel? It would drain your energy and make you give up even before you try. What you choose in your head, you multiply in your life. The opposite of the scarcity mindset is abundance, where there are enough resources and opportunities for everyone. Incorporating this outlook can help you see the world through the lens of hope and optimism. Other benefits of this mindset include, instead of saying, I can't afford it, you'll say, how can I afford it? You cooperate easily. Your focus shifts from surviving to enjoying and helping others. You don't need to buy or achieve something to feel joyful because you are already happy. Your investment decisions are wise, not quick and haphazard. Instead of anxiety and fears, your mind shifts to peace and trust. When you look through the lenses of abundance, you see that if others can be wealthy, happy, and successful, you can too. Key point 3. Myth 2. The Financial Security Trap. For most people, financial security lies in regular paychecks, good health insurance, retirement plans, and government programs. Many experts recommend finding a job with a high salary and bonuses, but this will just make you a wheel in the machine. After all, if a wheel gets broken, it cannot expect the whole machine to stop. In such cases, the details are replaced and not taken care of. Therefore, the only security you can rely on is the one you create for yourself and your family. For example, imagine that a kind and honest neighbor offers you the opportunity to invest in their house because it's safer than yours. Would you agree? Would you entrust your financial future to someone else? Of course not. So, what makes you think financial institutions or the government will care better for your money than you? Your well-being and wealth are yours to control. If you avoid taking responsibility in any area of your life, you may face its total collapse. It may even stop you from reaching your soul purpose, a mission that brings you joy and benefits others. You may get paid for it, but ultimately, it's not about money, but about applying your talents to your passion. Living your soul purpose often requires uncomfortable choices or sacrifices, but moves you closer to the deeper meaning of life. When you take responsibility, you find energy and strength. Just as you cannot expect anyone else to make you happy or boost your career, you cannot rely on someone to secure your financial future. If you opt for a job that pays well but doesn't bring joy, the benefits will be short-term. You can remain productive for long periods, enhance creativity, and strive for more only if you fulfill your potential. Therefore, think about trading the illusion of security for freedom. The freedom to create income from your passion, to make non-standard decisions, to cooperate, not compete, and to realize your potential in whatever way you choose. Ask yourself, what is that thing I love and will continue doing even if I am not paid for it? What do I want my life to look like? How can I help others? In what ways can my value grow? How can I battle my fears? These questions will give you a clearer view of your way forward. At the end of this summary, you'll discover an actionable checklist to further guide you toward financial security. Key point 4. Myth 3. Money, a devil in disguise. When you think about a rich person, who do you visualize? Many imagine an expensively dressed, powerful, and selfish business person or politician. Hollywood dwelled on this image for years, ingraining it in people's consciousness. Nevertheless, the idea of a wealthy person is highly stigmatized. Many financially free people are kind, generous, and mindful. But where did this myth come from? The sentence, "Money is the root of evil," is a deformed quote of the Apostle Paul. However, he said, "the love of money, not the money itself." Therefore, he meant that the constant chasing of wealth could force a person to do evil or criminal things. Unfortunately, many use this myth to persuade themselves and others about why they are broke. They refuse to trade their soul for a bank account. However, these same people constantly think about money. Those who struggle financially get stuck trying to make ends meet, and for them, money becomes an unattainable dream, not a byproduct. They spend hours stressing over it and ignoring the only valuable resource they have, other people, including themselves. Money is neither good nor bad, it merely represents value. A cup of coffee may be worth $4, while a famous painting, $2 million. The value of those things differs significantly, but the goal is to make both parties satisfied or happy. To prove that people alone can ascribe value to money, consider the value of a $100 bill. You may want to say $100, but it's not. Every person sees its worth differently. For a teenager, it may be a new set of earphones, while for a homeless person, it will mean a week's worth of food. Like language, money is a tool of exchange you can use to build or destroy. Therefore, treat money as a benefit, not a purpose. You can do many good things with it, but you can do just as much without it. The power is never in the bills or coins, it's in the one who uses it. Money is a magnifying glass of your choices and desires, and if you want to help dozens, it may help you reach millions. Did you know? According to a CNBC article from January 2024, the millionaire population of America acquired 500,000 new members over 2023, thus rising to almost 7.5 million people. Key point 5. Myth 4. Insurance as a money drain. People often have a love-hate relationship with insurance. Some believe in self-insurance, which technically means none at all. They despise paying for it so much that they abandon the idea altogether. Others understand its benefits, especially when they have accumulated certain assets they don't want to lose. And there is a third group who are neither here nor there. For them, insurance is a necessary evil. The principal argument for not having insurance or going with the cheapest one is how much you can save. But does this work? When you transfer the potential risks onto the shoulders of an insurance company, you can think productively and calmly. Your mind isn't ruminating over a possible loss. In such cases, you prioritize your principal asset, yourself. Whatever happens, you are calm and confident because an insurance company has your back and you can focus on more significant tasks. On the other hand, if you decide against insurance, you must have at least the same amount in your bank account as the assets you could lose. Let's say you own $1 million house and have $1 more million in your bank account. If your home isn't insured and burns down, you must withdraw that money to buy a new house. This situation leaves you with little to no savings. Then, imagine having the same house and paying $2,000 yearly for the insurance. If it burns down, you lose nothing except for the yearly $2,000. This is math. However, the psychological benefits may be even more significant. This world is dangerous. You may get sick, crash a car, or lose a property. But if it happens, your insurance will replace it. Of course, insurance has many peculiarities that you must pay attention to. Therefore, before signing a deal, talk to experts and revise all possible scenarios to cover every detail. Those who constantly strive to save in the small things can sometimes lose in the big ones. One opinion that often bugs people is that what if their insurance never gets used? Well, if they are that lucky, they must be grateful that it is so. Insurance is not a party planning organization. They often deal with challenging and tragic cases. Therefore, get the best insurance and hope you will never need it. Key point 6. Myth 5. A penny saved is a penny earned. Busting this myth can be a game changer for people who buy things only if they're a good deal and often end up with things they don't need or want. For instance, they purchased them because they were on sale. Marketing tricks like Black Friday, summer sales, or 3-for-2 deals work well because many base their financial decisions on the price, not the value. A bargain is something you cannot use at a price you cannot resist. Franklin P. Jones. Of course, a price tag is an important aspect, but not the principal one. For example, imagine that you are in a supermarket to buy shrimp. You want to buy them, but suddenly you notice a chicken with 50% off. You don't like meat, but the price is so good that you buy 2 in case guests drop by. One day, you notice that your freezer doesn't have space for a giant bucket of ice cream you bought at Costco, also on sale. You take that chicken out and promise to cook it tomorrow, but you don't have the time or desire. So, the chicken ends up in the trash can. The price-oriented mindset makes you leave a shop with countless items, even if you went to buy only one. Eventually, your closets get full of clothes, cute trinkets, or cheap jewelry you use only once, or don't use at all. But even though your bank account is reduced by $20 or $40, your brain calculates the sum it saved. Doubt your decision before buying anything. Question it twice if it is on sale. Apart from creating a false money-saving illusion, this myth also prevents you from enjoying a thing or experience you bought at a regular price. You may go on a vacation you wanted and deserve, but your mind will keep ruminating about how much it was. It can make you postpone or miss out on experiences or things you want and can afford because they are not cheap enough. Therefore, first focus on what a purchase means to you. Then think of what it means to your wallet. Try this. Instead of following outdated financial myths, take control with intentional actions that align with your values and goals. Start here. Question before believing. When faced with financial advice, ask, where does this idea come from? Who benefits from it? Are there real-world examples proving its truth? List at least 3 pros and cons before accepting it as fact. Shift from why to how instead of asking, why can't I afford this? Ask, how can I afford it? List 3 creative ways to generate more income or provide additional value to your work. Define your sole purpose. Write down your core strengths and passions and how they can create value for others. This week, look for a tiny step to align your finances with this purpose. Commit to lifelong learning. Choose one book, podcast, or course this month to expand your financial knowledge. Wealthy individuals never stop learning, and neither should you. Audit your spending habits. For the next week, track every expense. At the end of the week, review and categorize them by necessities, meaningful investments, and impulse buys. Adjust accordingly. Practice conscious spending. Before making any non-essential purchase, pause and ask yourself, do I truly need this, or am I just buying because it's discounted or trending? Surround yourself with financial wisdom. Engage with mentors, communities, or friends who challenge and elevate your financial thinking. Schedule one conversation this month with someone you admire financially. Remember, wealth isn't just about money. It's about making daily choices that align with your values, growth, and purpose. Start small, stay consistent, and prosperity will follow. That's all for now. More intriguing summaries are just a click away.